right? It upsets the hierarchy. It upsets the rank order of things. Are we okay with that? See, that's part of the reflective stage. Now we're looking at interpretive. Now we step back from our emotions. Okay, we recognize, we got them out. We expressed our emotions. Yeah, and we don't say, oh, that's bad, you're wrong, you shouldn't. No, we just say, that's natural to have these emotions, to change. And we have to acknowledge it, and we have to accept it. That many teachers and many of us in the institutions are just not up to the changes, and how do we deal with it? And we help people in where to go in the rest of their careers, and to make that a positive thing. But let's go to theory, number 3, and read again, what are the questions in number 3? All right, let's look at number 3. How can our college support their teachers in adapting to, so now here we're being analysts of change, right? How do we support our teachers? What do we mean by quality teaching? And what would make our teaching better to our students and more rewarding to us, right? So follow those leads and write what do you agree on and where do you disagree, okay? So number 3, please. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Make sense? Make sense? What do you have?
By giving orientation, training and export.
Right. Very good, very good.
Providing practical exposure with real-time examples.
Right. Well, yeah, right.
Feedback.
Feedback, right.
Upgradation of skills and qualifications.
So how does feedback happen? How do you get,
Give questionnaires to students.
is it students to teachers?
Students to teachers.
Yeah, okay, so that's good. So you have to go a little further to say, how do we get honest feedback that protects the student so he can be truthful, right? But, okay, very good. Yeah.
Grading.
Right.
That we will take as.
Okay, great, that's great. How are we doing? How are theorists interpretive? Very good, okay. So is the typology making sense? The sequence? Objective, reflective, interpretive. Okay. How are we doing 3 here?
Yes, sir. College support their teachers in adapting the changes.
Yeah, how can they do that?
They can support them giving
Technology,
providing technology.
Technology support.
Yeah. And also faculty development programs like
Right. Very good, yeah. So just think of you as you're the principal of the college.
Yes, sir.
What do you need to make people feel comfortable?
Yes.
We just talked about the emotions.
Right.
So now we have to deal with the emotions in a way that allows people to accept their emotion, but that it's okay. But change has to happen anyway, right? So we have to, otherwise the person will block
Yes.
and say, I'm not allowing the change to happen.
And teachers' satisfaction should be there.
Yeah. The key is the student satisfaction.
At the same time, teachers are.
Because isn't it that student satisfaction is attracting more students means the institution is going to thrive. If the students are not coming because they're not satisfied, then that's not good. Okay, great. Do you have anything you want to just opt out for a while here? I'm not sure what we're doing for the rest of the afternoon, to be honest. So, can you help me with the structure?
I can tell you.
goes till 2:45.
No, no, just, oh, 2:45, where are we now? We're 3. Frankly, I'm happy to go over, because this falls out. We talked about that yesterday, right? And we
So
don't need
we're
to.
just going to do Q&A,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we're going to close. There's a closing. I'm sure they're
Yeah.
doing a prayer.
Right, well, yeah, sure. So if you can kind of lead this, I think Xavier wants to say something. I'm not sure what I'm saying, but
I'm not sure what I'm saying.
you know, but if, is there something after this? See, I'm not going to ask them if you don't have time to say, now each tell us what your table has talked about. But maybe they have, let me say, can I even say, Quaker meeting here a little bit. Allow them.
Yeah, we have lots of time.
Yeah, we have lots of time to say, maybe I could lead that, being sort of historically a Quaker from Philadelphia, that, you know, maybe we'll sit here, we'll break up from tables, but do you want to go first?
No, we're here.
But you want to do this one
that everyone
first,
can hear.
or do you want to hear from them,
No,
from this experience
I
that
would,
already?
I would wrap this up and then we'll just go into
Okay.
topics.
Okay. But I think that there's a lot of energy, and they sort of have an expectation they want to share.
Yeah, no, I think you should do it.
So, but I can't. I don't have, and the sound is so hard. You can't hear anybody.
Yeah, I know.
So if they stand up and they do some testimonial thing about what this workshop has meant to them, right? In some larger sense,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to follow this.
No, we can do it as
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, now we go to 4.
Silence.
Yeah, please. Now everybody should be on 4. Now, right? We understand each other. We know the environment we're in.
Silence. Kindly listen to the speaker.
Thank you. I mean, I love the energy here. So, I mean, you know, you make a lot of noise and I love it. It's okay. But I need to wedge in a little bit here to say that we want to move on. And that's the thing. A lot of conversations, they don't lead anywhere. They go off in every direction and there's no structure, right? But this is the idea that if a facilitator can guide a discussion, first through objective analysis, common understanding of the environment we're in. Then we go to feelings and get them out. Then we go to theories. We're smart people. Why? What is happening? Go deeper into the dynamics of the institution. That how do institutions change? And what can our role as teachers be in making that? Well, that is now in 4. So take the last 5 minutes to focus in on 4 and write down what, you know, how do our colleges need to change to support and sustain teaching? How can we be agents of change, right? Agents of change is a sign on your campus, right? But many of people, we don't know how to be agents of change. So anyway, share what you have, and that'll be the final sequence. Thank you. Okay? What do you have?
How does our college need to change and support sustain high quality means providing resources,
Oh, resources.
encouraging research activities,
Research? Yes, right.
encouraging research activities, upgrading with new infrastructure.
Okay.
Infrastructure.
New infrastructure, right? Well, infrastructure of technology or?
Yeah. How can we be agent for these changes means providing quality teaching
Providing quality teaching to
Of
the
course,
students.
yes.
and by making students involved in learning.
Yeah, sure. Okay, good. But anything more? What, you know, can you participate in some committees or,
Yeah.
you know, is there some, if this is the democratic process or is it not very democratic?
Democratic.
How are we doing here? Beautiful. Where's 4? Let me show. Practical implementation usage. What is this? Course. Outcomes. Day-to-day. I see. Like, what is that? Motivation. Facilitator. Right. So, any more? What needs the dynamics of change? Is this a democratic process, or do you want a strong leader that pushes through change? I don't know. How are we doing here? How are we doing? Strong leader is this. All right. Okay. What kind of leader? What do you need a leader, academic leader, to be? What are the characteristics of a strong leader? And how does that fit with the idea of democracy? Right? In the midst of change. If we have to make fast change, maybe we can't afford democracy. I don't know. You guys listen. How are we doing here? Okay, what did you say here so far?
Updating to the latest technology.
Right. Creating happy environment. Right. Good. Maybe, but these many things take resources. How do you find new resources? Maybe that's something that you can help the college to do. So, because we don't have endless resources. How are we doing here, decision makers? Sorry. No, that's right. So what have you agreed to here so far? So now you're starting with that. What action will you say you're a committee that has been tasked by your college to make recommendations for how we adjust to the future? That's maybe think of yourself as that committee. Resources and human infrastructure. Ah, right, very good. What is the ballot? Encouraging
Encouraging faculty with incentives or rewards.
That's right. Communicating with the co-workers regarding the updates in technology should be flexible with environmental changes. That's right. But maybe elaborate a little more. What do you mean by that, right? But think of yourself if the principal is asking you to be a committee to give a report of what the college needs to do to prepare for the next 25 years. Think, what are the things the college needs to do? How are we doing here? We okay?
Done with ours.
Everybody's on board?
Yes.
Do you think this is useful, this four-part sequence?
Yes.
Four windows really reflecting, very nice.
Have you heard about this before?
No.
Yeah. So it's for facilitators to sequence and build from 1, 2, 3, 4.
In an order.
Yeah. So everybody is on board. How are we doing here?
This will require adequate classrooms, labs, libraries and technology.
Right. Very good. Think of yourself. Think
Yeah,
of
yeah,
yourself
yes,
as
yes.
if the principal asks you as a committee
Yeah.
to present
Something.
what the college should do to prepare for 25 years, next
Yeah.
25 years.
Yes.
What are the things that are most important the principal needs to be focused on to make changes for the next 25 years?
Intake of the students.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you. All right.
Please, we will take one selfie with our
Thank you so much. You're the first one to ask for a selfie. Very nice.
Decisions we are making.
All right. So did this sequence, does it make sense to you?
Yes, interlinked.
What?
It's interlinked to the objective reflection.
Yeah. So now that we're here, do we have a consensus? Is it, cooperation in this exercise.
Silence.
I think we've reached the hour or the moment. And I wonder if you have, we don't have time to hear from every table about what you have said about every stage, But I wondered if you would step back from this exercise, and if you have any comments, just quick comments about this process. Does this look to be somehow useful to you? That the idea of a focused conversation that moves from let's just talk about what we can agree is happening in our environment, right? These are the forces of change that we're in. And then we go to R, which is how do we feel about those changes? And we acknowledge all the feelings. We allow, you have feelings, that's fine, that's natural, right? There's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong. There's just, yes, this is how it makes me feel. And to acknowledge that is usually a powerful thing in itself. To articulate and not have judgment, pass judgment. Oh, you're a backward teacher, too bad, right? You hold judgment and you go through the process. Third, of course, we need to think more creatively about these forces. That's the interpretive. And then decision, fourth, is then we have laid the groundwork in our discussion for common action. If we don't lay the groundwork for that common action, we won't get anywhere. We have fragmentation, we have division, and we know what is happening in our polarized societies, yours and mine, right? There's a high degree of polarization because we don't go through this process of conversation so that we understand what is happening to us, and how we feel about it, and what we should be doing about it, right? So this is an effort to, like sometimes you say, oh, we're trying to have, discussion, and someone comes in and says, but that's terrible. So wait a minute, no. That is reflective. We're just now doing wait for R, right? Or somebody has elaborate ideas, to understand I, right? But now, this is after a while, you don't have to have further analysis. Analysis paralysis, right? Sometimes too much analysis, we don't get anywhere. Ultimately, we need to build consensus, and we have to have common action. And that is the foundation for democratic change. So this is a tool, I think, for democratic change among very intelligent and caring people. I just wondered if we have just time for 1 minute, if there's any comments that you have about this process. It's good? Is it? Did you find it? Is it new? Brainstorming? But you can tell what is O and what is R? I mean, in the sense to say, if you're a facilitator, right? The facilitator doesn't take sides. Facilitator enables a conversation to occur. And these conversations, we've lost maybe some skills, or we never had these skills but we need these skills if we want to have inclusive change, if we want to have democratic change, which in the academy, right, in the higher education academy, I think we're all committed to a democratic change process. And we have to do that amongst ourselves first. Any other concluding remarks? Anything else that anybody wants to say about the process? I think, did you enjoy it? Ah, good. So, yeah, very good. So you can be facilitators in the future. Okay. Yeah, so your groups, I think you've become good friends within your groups. I think some people didn't want to lose their groups. But this is the last time we meet. Could everybody agree to please stand up? Yeah.
Stand up.
Okay. This is a transition. Yeah, we recognize that we're moving Yeah, this is the workshop between one side of the house and the other side of the house, right? So now we move back to the other side for our final session. But you want to ask, please say thank you to each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you, right?
Thank you.
What a very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, say, beautiful. Very much. Yeah, thank
Professor Glenn Shive. It was definitely a very interesting session. This was a platform where the participants were able to engage, share ideas, and enjoy the exchange of thoughts. Thank you once again. Moving on, we will now have a panel discussion. I request professors to kindly occupy the chairs on the stage. I repeat, we will now have a panel discussion. I request professors to kindly occupy the chairs on the stage.
as with all things, particularly things that have been good and interesting, eventually they comes to an end or the circle closes on that. And so this will be the closing session or the final session of sort of comments and questions and answers, and then our hosts will do the final closing piece on that. And so I'm going to ask each of my colleagues to say a few words. They're welcome to say whatever they want if they have questions for you. And then I'm going to open it up to you for either questions that you have, but perhaps more importantly, comments on what you liked, what you wished might have happened, and most importantly, now that we've been talking and interacting for a day and a half, what do you wonder about? And often when I do workshops, my ending piece is to ask the participants those three questions. What did you like? What did you wish had happened? And what do you wonder about now? But before we do that, I'm going to ask each of my colleagues, or give them the opportunity to say as few or as many words as they would like. And I'll start with Father Xavier.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Spencer. Actually, I wanted to come and share with you with regard to Ayache. Maybe at the end I would come, maybe about this conference. I just want to say one word. Say, actually, this conference was not supposed to be held here. But your principal was telling me, Father, by all means, you must have it in our campus. You bring it here. Then I asked the members. They said, definitely, Father, we will go to Hyderabad and give the seminar there. And this, I think, it went on very well. I was even asking people how it was. And you are able to follow these people. Maybe even the Spencer, I must really thank him. I told him, Spencer, you must speak slowly. My God, he was very slow. He was slow to the core he was very, very slow so that everybody should understand whatever he was saying. I think all the three panelists, three of them did their best. So on behalf of everybody, I would like to thank them first. Yeah. Any other questions? Maybe they will ask you later.
Okay, so what I want to say is that you all have moved me very deeply. Your dedication to your students, your interaction with your colleagues, your faces when I asked you about good, positive teaching situations, classes, wonderful students you've had. Nothing fills me with more joy than thinking of your expressions as you were reflecting on those students and those classes. Honestly, you've moved me I have tears in my eyes just thinking about it because you care deeply, just as we do. And so I'm grateful for your kindness. I'm overwhelmed, actually, by your kindness because it is so different from what we're used to, frankly. So anyway, that's all I really want to say. I just want to thank you all for allowing us to spend time with you in these couple of days. It has been fantastic, and I hope that this is not the end. This is just the beginning of connections that we will maintain in the future. So that's all.
I would like to reiterate what Melissa had said. I think the most enjoyable and rewarding part of this experience has been meeting you as individuals, as colleagues, and as friends. Your warmth and hospitality is matched nowhere else in the world. So please, thank you for that. I hopefully was able to follow Father Xavier's advice. I will often give workshops in countries where English is not the native language, so I hopefully spoke slow enough. Although I reminded him that this was a two-way street, and that one of the pieces that I often have among my Indian colleagues is they talk very, very fast, and have an accent, and I can sometimes barely understand them. So it goes both ways. So thank you on that.
And actually, when you guys were getting a little bit overly enthusiastic, you saw I went into Spanish. So now you all need to continue to study Spanish, because it was clear you understood when I was speaking Spanish and everyone calmed down.
I'm going to hand, no, I've kept the mic away from Glenn because we've worked together for decades on that. But I am going to give him the mic, and then I'm actually going to go down so that you can comment. But what I'm also going to do, don't leave, we're going to put up a QR code and a website for the evaluation. We'll also send it to you. And that evaluation is very important for the three of us, but also for each of the sites. You can do it before you leave. You can just do it on your phone. It's a Qualtrics. It works on all types of devices. Please be candid. It is anonymous. We will not know who you are, but we will know it was from here because we're using the same survey for each of the sites on that. So on this, I'm going to turn the mic over to my colleague, Glenn.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And the assessment is, of course, very important. We talked about assessment this morning, in fact, and we need to have continuous assessment in all that we do, and this is a good mechanism. So please, perhaps, before you leave the campus, we'll be able to close earlier than we thought. We covered so much material, so we'll give you time, perhaps, to do your evaluation while it is still fresh before you leave the campus. I wanted to say that I'm astounded and pleased with the participation in the small groups and the cafe that we had. That this is an enormously intellectually and stimulating group, a warm and open group, and you like each other. It's great, and you respect each other in a lot of what you've said. And this is so important that the academy, that broadly speaking, the higher education system, we as scholars and educators, we have to demonstrate what is democracy, what is mutual respect for many different opinions. We live in polarized societies, and there's a lot written about why that is happening. And it probably has a lot to do with the technologies that we've been discussing. And we're having to be teachers in the context of technologies that are emphasizing the superficial and the dramatic and the extreme, while most of us, of course, want to find the center. We want to find common ground with our fellow citizens, with our the students and our fellow teachers. And that's what an academy is good for. It knows how to do that. And our teachers come out of our universities with skills that they don't jump to conclusions. They don't just react to the first thing that comes to mind, that they consider it deeply. So that's what this was, a little experiment of ORID, that a focused conversation that moves from building consensus about what is happening in our environment and to the changes that are upon us all. And then to acknowledge what is really what we feel about that. And there's no right and wrong answer, that we just have to respect that people going through this change are having a hard time in many ways. And we have to be honest about that. But just by that, a lot of tension goes out of the room and mutual respect is gained, right? And then we have so many ideas to understand more deeply what is happening to us in our society, in our academic community. and ultimately how we can be change agents, which is in your mission statement. It's outside. I read it on the first day we came in, that we all want to be change agents and we want our students to be change agents, but what are the skills of change agents and how do we teach them in a systematic way? So anyway, this was a little exercise in academic democracy, and I think it worked in some way. Anyway, I share it with you, see what you think, see if you can use it in some way. This is an enormously satisfying experience for us, and you honor us by inviting us here, and any time there's a chance for me to come to India, I will take it. And we are so glad that, you know, the pandemic, we hope, is beyond us, behind us, and that we can engage in this kind of social and intellectual sharing that brings us to a higher and better place than we have been in a long time, isolated in our separate worlds. And so much more can happen when we share in this way. So thank you all very much for this opportunity to be part of Loyola Academy and all the friends that have come here from afar to join us in these 2 days. Thank you.
What I want to do now is give the people who really mattered here, this symposium, this conference, this gathering would not have occurred without you. It is not the four of us on the stage or the people in Zoom that made it. It is because of the people here. And so I want to give you an opportunity to either raise a question or comment relative to what we have or what you have experienced in the last day and a half. And I think we have one here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I really enjoyed all the sessions, and I do remember the backward design that you, in the first session, you mentioned. First, the objectives, what you want to achieve, then you decide the course content, then methodology, then the target group. You go from down to top. What I liked in Professor Melissa's classes are the different ways of engaging students creatively. That I learned a lot. What I appreciate with Professor Glenn's interaction is that the way you conducted cafe discussions. Tomorrow notes, I hope there will be a lot of stuff found in the canteens now. Hopefully for discussions. Okay. All along these 2 days of sessions, whatever you were trying to give to us, give to me, it was wonderful, new, and effective and efficacious. But at the back of my mind, constantly there was a question going on. You are giving from your success story. You are sharing your success story from your context. But I strongly wished and grappled with how am I going to adapt this success story and techniques and tactics to my present context in my classroom. When Melissa was sharing that she looks into everybody's eyes, 25 students is easy to. But for me, 60 students, by the time I look at and finish, my classes also get over. So not only me, a lot of people grapple with the idea, how am I going to transform all that you have given to us into everyday activities. And that made me to reflect and think and propose that in case in future we happen to collaborate, you come 1 week ahead of the programs. Stay, interact with our students and find for yourselves the difficulty. Then with your experience and success, if you can suggest something, that's going to be much more useful for us. I was thinking this way. Thank you.
Are there others who'd like to share?
everything that has been taught is very, very impactful and very positive. The way you people have planned and put up everything in general, and we have learned a lot, especially which we're already implementing and which we can change through our psychological attitudes. Thank you. Yeah.
These 2 days have been very, very fruitful, I should say, because professors coming from international platform have taken us to that level, because we have heard the saying, before taking the horse to the waters, make it thirsty. I think the input sessions here have been that, and you have taken us to the water of global cave. So that was really very interesting, highly engaging, and brainstorming. Whatever we have to do, the lessons that we have learned here, before we could implement taking to our colleges, all of us have gone through that engagement process. And so we know it by experience. Just now we have seen objective, reflective, all those stages. We have gone through it so that becomes easy for us to understand what the students go through. So I'm very thankful to all of you for taking us from the level that we are, more of theory-based sometimes, to experiential learning. Thank you very much, professors. And coming to Loyola Academy, I'm really thankful to Father Francis Xavier and Father George Reddy and Dr. Rama, QAC coordinator. It was what I should say is, I'm taking back some sweet memories, I should say, because I felt they were so friendly, hospitable, full of warmth. I've made a lot of friends here. So with that, these takeaways, I'm happy to go back. Thank you very much.
Are there others? Before you, I know, I want to do one last thing before we have sort of the official wrap up. One of the things that has been very impressive here, and I'd like to acknowledge and recognize and thank all of those wonderful people who worked in the background to make this happen. Please give them your applause and thanks. I've run many conferences. This one ran seamlessly from my viewpoint, which is as good as it ever gets on it. So again, I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank the students, the people, the support for making this so successful for everyone on that. And I believe you're going to do a rapporteur.
Thank you, Professor. Good afternoon to one and all. So whenever, today this time I'm the convener, but whenever somebody asks me to go somewhere, I will think that in every workshop or a conference, there will be some takeaway. Even for the TOT, when the first batch had and the second, we had a different type of feedback coming from them, but I enjoyed it because out of my way, I went and I did something, because every time it is an official work I'm doing in my IQSC office. So I thought, no, my approach for looking into the things differently, that has changed after my TOT program, which I have attended. Now, in this particular conference, 2 days workshop, I learned that making a PPT is so easy. You have to think in that way and do the PPT. Because being a science graduate, we think a lot about what is the input, what is the output coming, whether results are proper or not, what is the methodology used. And so nicely, she has shown the PPT. This is how we do so many things throughout our life or every day, in day to day, but we don't put them into proper format and then express them. So that's what I have learned after seeing your PPTs. This is how it should be. It should be like that, because as Madam Bhavani was telling, we do so many things, but we don't know how to put it, the documentation and the proper way. That's what I have learned from this. And the communication is one more thing. So people keep on telling IQSC office what it is doing, what type of work is going on. Every time inputs are given from the HODs, then deans are working, everybody is working. So I thought there is something which is missing, which I could not communicate. Because the way they have communicated and told these are the things that are required, probably that I have to learn. That I have to learn. Because we don't have such platforms where we can express within the campus. Because anytime the resource persons will be coming and teaching to us, or they will be talking, and we don't talk to ourselves. Because we always are busy with either the classes or giving the data, or we are busy with something else. So people who come to my office, they generally think that she's very strict, and until we had a TOT program with a limited number of people of 40. So only those people know me what Rama is. Others, they don't know. So this type of communication and interaction, like what groups we had, even I think IQSC has to make it a point to conduct such programs so that what work is going on in the office and in the campus, everybody should know. That's one thing I thought. Then with all these professors, maybe 5 to 6 times we had meetings in the evenings, 7 to 9:30, 10 sometimes. And from the last 1.5, 2 months, we are interacting in order to conduct this program. So all the inputs have gone, not only from me as a coordinator, but also from the other coordinators from the other venues. We have all contributed. Thank you so much for all the interactions and for giving, I thank for the Joji Reddy, the principal, for giving me an opportunity to interact with them directly throughout these sessions for the last 1.5, 2 months and making this particular workshop a success. Then yesterday we had a meeting in the late night, maybe 8:45 like that. We started till 10:30 it has gone. Actually, I was not well, but Dr. Josephine was asking me because she cannot come online, Madam, you have to be there. Anyhow, I am interested in learning, but yesterday I had a lot of fever and I could not join, I thought, but still I went. It was a very interesting thing because Professor Kingshuk Mukherjee, he has talked about how we can collaborate our students to the programs that are being offered in US. So he has a tie-up with Symbiosis Institute, and 60 students are doing a student exchange program with that particular university in US. So he is looking forward to contribute such things to the other colleges also in India. So he'll be coming in December. So we take the opportunity, like I want the management also to speak to him so that we also give some such type of programs to our students. As Professor Glenn was talking, that winter is very cool for them. The place North America is very cool. So some of them can come here to do some programs or some courses in our campus, and our students will be going in summer or so. So that type of exchange programs. Why I have thought is, JNTU is conducting a program, 4-year engineering program, where 2 years they study here and 2 years abroad. So there are students in our campus also, those who are aspiring to go to US or any other place, Canada, outside India, they want to go and do. So if 30 students are there or 40 students are there who are interested, I think we can collaborate with those people and then have one particular course of that sort or program we can start where we can have this type of collaboration and we can have some courses with them. That's what was my idea after listening to Mukherjee sir yesterday. And we cannot think that our courses are not on par with what US is offering. That's what I have learned from these 2 days, because students from there also want to learn some of the courses which are interesting. See, one of the courses Elsta was proposing was the art of doing MCs. How to do a Master of Ceremony program. She wants to run a course like that. So it may be interesting for others. Because it's a major, 2 major, 3 major, 1 major. We have different types of as per NEP also. So I think that we have to think. So that's what I was looking up. And one more thing is, even now, the students who are interested in startups, we are looking for how we are tying up with the industry is, we have 2-3 industry people who are interested to listen to the students' ideas. So we have 15 to 20 students, we have grouped them together, And mostly weekly 3 times or 4 times, we have industry experts online from 5 to 7:30. So they'll be speaking and understanding their idea. So they want to become entrepreneurs in the near future, these students. So like that, we can have interactions with these people also, where we can collaborate with small projects. Because students have the ideas, somebody should fund them or nurture them, incubate those projects. So that we are doing it with the, Prabhakar sir is one from Star C, then one more company we have. So evening I'll be sitting with them along online Zoom meeting, and I'll be listening because I'm interested to know what company wants to tell to the students. So same way we can do here also. And whenever an opportunity comes, I feel that everybody should learn. And it may be a responsibility, a burden for us, but there will be a takeaway from it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, professors. Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Ms. Hima Bindu, Assistant Professor of Mass Communication, to propose the vote of thanks.
Respected guest, Professor Glenn Shive, Professor Spencer Benson, Professor Melissa Fitch, Reverend Father Dr. Francis Xavier, Correspondent, Reverend Father Dr. L. Joji Reddy, SJ Principal, our Vice Principals, Reverend Father Arul Jyoti, Reverend Father Dr. A.M.J. Joseph Kumar, Reverend Father A. Prabhu, Dr. Rama IQSC Coordinator and Convener, Dr. T. Suchitra Naidu, Dean of Academics and Organizing Secretary, Deans, Coordinators, HODs, participants from other institutions across the country, and my dear faculty members. I stand before you today with a heart full of gratitude and immense joy as we come to the close of our Faculty Excellence in Teaching and Scholarship workshop. It is an honor for me to extend a warm and heartfelt word of thanks to all who have contributed to the success of this event. First and foremost, I would like to express our deep appreciation to members of the management for organizing such an intellectual and enriching two-day workshop on faculty excellence. Your commitment to continuous improvement is inspiring, and it is this dedication that forms the foundation of our academic institution's excellence. I would also like to extend our gratitude to our distinguished guest speakers and facilitators who have generously shared their knowledge, expertise, and valuable insights throughout the workshop. Your contributions have enriched our discussions and broadened our horizons. A special word of thanks goes out to the organizing committee, whose meticulous planning and hard work ensured seamless execution of this workshop. Your attention to detail and tireless efforts have not gone unnoticed, and this event would not have been possible without your dedication. I must also acknowledge the support and participation of our administrative staff and the students who have played a vital role in logistics, communication, and ensuring that everything ran smoothly. Your contributions behind the scenes have been invaluable. Last but not the least, I want to thank all the participants for your active engagement, enthusiasm, and willingness to learn and grow. Your presence and active participation have been the driving force behind the success of this workshop. In conclusion, this workshop has been a wonderful platform for collaboration, learning, and growth. It is our collective commitment to excellence in teaching and scholarship that propels our institution forward. Let us carry the knowledge and inspiration gained from this event into our classrooms and research endeavors and continue to make a positive impact on the academic community. Thank you all for your dedication and participation. Here is to a bright future of continued excellence in teaching and the scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you, Bindu. With this, we come to an end of the two-day workshop. Thanks to the entire team. I request all the participants to give a huge round of applause.
All the nice paper that you have been writing on the tables, they're very valuable. They're a document. And we're not going to throw them away. We're going to, and Dr. Crow is, maybe you make a comment. And so this is a planning document that will be used to go forward here at Loyola Academy to move the changes forward. Please. Thank you.
Yeah, we are going to give it to Himabindu, Priya Thakur, and then Bindu Babu, all those charts, and they are going to document like a book. You are worried, no? That time TOT, sir has taken away all your ideas. So this time I'm giving you an opportunity to make it as a document and present it to IQSC. Yeah, Raji also. Rajeshwari also will be a part. So they're in my office. So you can just take and then document it and bring it as a book. Thank you.
Great. So please take time to do this right now, and it will be fresh in your minds, and it will be greatly helpful to us all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, it's kind of chaotic for me, and I forget to.
No, it's okay, it's okay. My
Do
name is
the-
Elsita.
Elsie.
Elsita.
Elcido. Yeah, very good. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, right. No, I hope I can come again and
Yes,
see
yes,
you.
definitely. I hope I get to come there.
Please,
sometime.
please. Well, I live in Scotland, yeah?
Okay.
Right? So